Hello everyone, welcome to another BigJigs review. Today I'm going to be showing off an item that I wanted for a very long time, and now that I finally have it, I have to say I'm both impressed and disappointed, but I'll get to that. This is the BigJigs track laying crane. I think I'm not exactly sure what exactly it's called, but it's a very fun piece, and I'm sure you can see why. It's a crane that can lay down track because it has this piece with a magnet on it, and that's pretty cool. But it's not perfect, and it's one of those items that's better in concept than in execution, although the execution isn't that bad, but it has some pretty big issues. So before I get into the review, I just want to say, BigJigs boxes, what what are they? They are so hard to get into. I'm not sure how you are meant to open them. I did basically this, but I'm not sure where I'm meant to cut. I often hear people talking about how Bachman Thomas boxes are badly designed and how you also can get into them. I think this might be the same type of box or something, but yeah. So about the item itself now. So first of all, it comes with some track. This is something that BigJigs includes with, I believe, all of their engines or rolling stock, just a couple pieces of track and some buffers. That's cool, you can always use some more buffers. And technically this also has a fourth piece of track because it has this thing. The track, yeah, it seems to be good and good quality and everything. There's not really a lot to say about it. But now the crane. So the main attraction of this is three pieces. There is the crane itself, there is the flatbed for the track piece, and then the track piece. So the way it fits on the flatbed so it doesn't fall off is that this track piece has these holes in it. And then of course it has this magnet so it can be lifted by the crane. This does unfortunately mean that you can't use any other track piece. And while I understand that of course not every track piece can have a magnet in it, it's a little unfortunate that you can't put them on a flatbed because that is a very nice feature. But oh well, it's not a big deal. The flatbed is very interestingly made because it has bogies, but it also has only 4 wheels. Usually bogied vehicles have like 8 wheels. Both of these can move like independently from each other and they are connected by this string. I'm not sure exactly why, but it's nice. And as for the detailing, it has this yellow and red livery, which is quite nice, and it has a lot of detail even on the chassis with these things. I'm not exactly sure what they are. It has a danger sign here and also here, and here it says load here, some hazard stripes. Yeah, it's pretty good. And the crane, it's very similar because, well, these two are meant to be paired together, so it makes sense. Interestingly, it has a differently colored chassis than the flatbed. This has a black chassis, and once again, it has some extra design there. And as for the detail on the crane itself, other than the chassis, yeah, it's pretty good. It's about what you could expect. I like how they also put some details here. It looks really nice, although it's kind of odd how what's on the side doesn't line up with what's on the top. But again, not a big deal. And yeah, that's basically the main thing you need to know about this. But the issues. So first of all, this piece doesn't really handle hills well. I'm going to show what it's like when it goes over a hill later. But basically, normally wooden chains, they have these round magnets which allow them to do this and also this, which is useful on hills. But this thing, it can't do that because of the crane attached to the flatbed through this magnet. So it can't really, yeah, I'm trying to make it like do something like this or this, but I can't without detaching the magnet, which you can't do normally when pulling a chain. So it doesn't really handle a hill. When it goes up, it has basically I don't know how to say it. The middle piece floats, and then the opposite happens when it goes down. The edges float, which is especially bad if the hill is right next to a curve because it just derails. So yeah, that's poorly designed, and I'm sure that there could be like a way to make this not an issue. Perhaps if there was a little bit of a string between the magnet and the actual cane itself, I think that something like that could fix this. But there's also another issue, which is this. You can't connect the crane to an engine or most items from the back. And come on, this is just pathetic. Like, this is such an obvious issue that it's amazing that they haven't fixed it. And by the way, this crane, it can also spin. So yeah, this issue also applies when you try to do something like this, which is even worse because what if you want to pull it like this? Or what if you want to pull something behind the crane like this? You know what I mean, this is just a very big design flaw. And finally, this is just a little thing, but this is just some small thing that kind of annoys me. And it's that it's sometimes hard to kind of make it line up to be like straight, if you know what I mean. Like, I would just want this to be like this, but sometimes it bends on itself a little bit, which isn't a big deal. Yeah, it's just something I wanted to mention, but this doesn't matter that much. So yeah, this is the BigJigs track laying crane. And also here is what happens when it goes up a hill. Not too much of an issue here, thankfully. But when going downhill, this isn't quite the same, and this is because of how I said that it kind of bends. Yeah, it can't even really handle well something like this because it just wants to kind of, I don't know, shrink? I'm not sure how to explain it, but yeah, this isn't how your product should work. So yeah, there are some pretty big design issues there. I think it would be fixed if the holes here were a little bit longer, because then the track piece could kind of slide depending on if the crane needs to do this or if it needs to do this, and then hopefully there shouldn't be any issues on the hills. But yeah, this is the BigJigs track laying crane or whatever it's called. I mean, it's still a really cool piece. I would probably recommend it, but just be aware of these issues and that it wouldn't be great if you pull it down or up hills. But it's certainly great if you like put it at some part of a layout where you want to pretend there's a construction going on. It's a really nice display piece. Oh, and that reminds me, there's one more thing that I would like to point out. It would be nice if there was like a weight here, a metal weight or something like that, so that the crane could stay in this position if you wanted. As it is, the crane just falls down, which isn't great because if you want to simulate like some workman lifting a check piece, it looks better if the crane can stay like this. But that's about everything, so let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.